Why do most budgets fail? I remember when I first started budgeting and I would set up a new budget at the beginning of the month in my budget planner. I would set up my monthly calendar, I would put in all of my bills, divide up everything by paycheck, and still end up blowing my budget over the course of a week or two. I would overspend and not even understand where I went wrong. Sometimes I would blame myself. Sometimes I would blame other circumstances of different things that was going on around me. But in reality, I could not figure out why I was blowing my budget. And it would create a cycle where I would do this over and over again. I had high credit card debt because I had already spent all of the money in my checking account. And since I was over budget, I had to spend on my credit card. And it really did take me a long while to understand my mistakes and understand what I was doing wrong every time I was setting up my budget. And it really boiled down to two reasons. And today I wanted to share the two reasons why most budgets fail. The first reason why most budgets fail is because they lack an accurate record of past spending. And this mainly comes down to our variable spending. When you think about it, when you're first setting up a budget and you're setting up all of your bills, estimating your bills are really easy because your mortgage and your car note is going to be the exact same amount every single month. The issue usually comes in when we start looking at our variable spending, the spending that we can't really estimate exactly how much we're going to spend. Your groceries and your gas and your shopping for the month. We think we know exactly how much we're going to spend, but usually we will underestimate exactly how much we spend in these categories, which causes our budgets to be set up incorrectly and will cause them to fail. I remember when we first started budgeting, I constantly made this mistake with our food budget. So I would always set our food budget at $600 for the month, not because that is what we had spent in the past, but because that's the amount that I wanted to spend. That was our goal amount of what we wanted to spend on food. The issue is that we weren't currently there. We were spending around $1,000 to $1,200 every single month. So it was almost impossible for us to stick to this goal because it just wasn't realistic for our family. It was way too far off from our reality, which means that the budget just wasn't attainable. And goals that aren't attainable will fail. We must be honest and realistic with ourselves with where we are with our current budget. You have to print out your bank statement and look at how much you're currently spending under a particular category so you can accurately state how much you're going to spend on your budget. Once I realized I was setting an unattainable goal, what I did is I set my budget to be $100 less than what we were currently spending. So since we were spending $1,000, I just decreased it to $900. That way I was still making some progress, but I wasn't putting us in an unattainable goal. I was still being very realistic with us and our budget. The second reason why most budgets fail is because you aren't tracking your spending. So we all know how much we have spent on our monthly bills because as soon as we pay them, since they are the exact same amount, we can easily keep track of how much we have spent. But when it comes down to spending on variable items like eating out and Amazon and Target and gas, we usually don't track them as we are spending, which causes us to overspend. So even though we have set a budget and we said this is the amount that I'm going to spend in this particular category, we aren't keeping track if that is what we're actually spending. We don't know if we have actually stuck to the budget. And this causes us not to know how we're doing until it's too late. I have done this many times where I have ran into Target after I have gotten off from work and I will just be window shopping and looking around, but I don't have a set amount. I haven't looked at my budget, so I don't remember how much I had set aside for my shopping category, if I had even set a shopping category in the first place. So if I did set a shopping category and it was for $50, but I forgot that it was for $50, then a lot of times I would end up spending $200 just because I was walking around and window shopping and not paying attention to how much I had actually set for my budget for the month. So this can be avoided by looking at your budget on a daily basis. Now I try to make it a habit to check out my budget every single morning during my morning routine. I will take 5 minutes to look at my bank transactions from the day before and compare it to my current budget and just make sure I am still on track under every single category. If I go over in a particular category, then I will see, can I borrow from another category that I haven't spent that much on and possibly still stay within budget overall. But making it a habit where I checked in on my money every single morning helped me stay on budget more than any other thing that I could have done. So I know that, a lot of times we'll talk about making more money and strategizing and decreasing your expenses, and all of those things really do help. But the top thing that has helped me out the most is tracking my expenses and checking in on my money every single morning. So you should definitely try these two things out and see if they help you with your budget, if your budget has been failing. And if you want more guidance on the budgeting process, especially if you like to budget on paper, you can check out my course, Budget on Paper, on Teachable. We talk through the steps of budgeting consistently by using a paper planner. And I hope to see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye, guys.